labels like Empire where they support creative ownership,
For sure.
right? Where they're not necessarily gonna force a record deal on you that you don't own your rights, you don't own your masters, you don't, own any of that, and then they support independency.
Music Business Unlocked.
We got Bezi in the building, ladies and
My
gentlemen.
dog, my brother,
What's they do?
man, living life, bro.
Good to
Up,
see you.
down, all around. It's great to see you, bro. Thank you
Yes,
for having
sir.
me.
Thanks for coming.
Come on, man.
It's been a minute.
For the fam.
Bezi walked in, didn't recognize the place. We did a remodel.
Yeah,
It's been that long.
bro. It looks beautiful, bro.
Thank you,
It
bro. I
looks
really
beautiful.
appreciate
It has
you.
been. It has been a while. I've been all around, but
Yes, sir.
bro, it looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
When I walked in, it was like, okay, this is okay. we on a different level now.
Had to upgrade.
Yes, sir.
Locked in with Warner. Had to upgrade.
Love that. Shout out Warner. Shout out Warner.
Shout out Warner. But yeah, man, it's been a minute. Talk
Yes,
to me.
sir.
What's going on with music? First and foremost. Most
Oh,
importantly.
man, music is phenomenal, bro. Like I'm blessed to do what I love. You know what I'm saying? Not part of the 1%.
Right.
So it's that alone is a blessing.
Absolutely.
I can't even be mad at that. But there are things to be mad about. You know what I'm
course.
saying? With music, it's really in a weird place right now,
It's the craziest.
bro. It's something that's never been experienced before. I think all of the creatives in music in general are like completely trying to figure out where music is even at.
For
Because
sure.
like we don't know where it's at.
There hasn't been a hit all year.
Yeah. I mean, like one that's like stuck.
Not one
yeah.
we'll remember in 10 years.
I feel like one that has came out, but it's more commercial. It's just like ordinary. But
So that's the number one song in
Right.
the past year and a half,
yeah, it sells itself. But like other than that, nothing, bro.
Let me talk to you real quick about the VMAs. Did
Yeah.
you watch the VMAs?
Bro, to be honest with you, I did not.
So when you get a chance to watch
But
them,
but like
we'll
I seen
have
clips.
another convo.
I seen clips. Like I'm
But-
hip
But
to a little.
I feel that they're going away from this recycled music, and they really put an emphasis on people that are passionate and are
Yeah.
really like creative.
Yeah.
So when you watch the VMAs, let me know if you feel the same
Okay.
way. Because a lot of the artists that were playing, and Alex Warren was one of them. Shout out Alex Warren.
Shout out Alex Warren, super
Um,
talented individual.
They're putting on real music. They're putting on real
Yeah.
shows. They're really performing. I
Yeah.
hope we're seeing a transition period.
I hope it
back
sticks to that because that's what music is, right? So like, let's keep it real. The greatest music created is off feeling. It's not off thinking,
Make me feel.
right? I mean, for me personally, that's how my creative process is. I'm not thinking first,
Right.
right? When I think first, I usually just end up scrapping it. I'm just like I'm thinking too much. This is-
Crazy, right?
It's too much. It's usually just based off feeling, man. Like, and if we transition there, which God I pray to the music guys,
Right.
I think it'll be a good thing for music. Like, I don't think music is necessarily in a bad place,
Okay.
right? I think it's still in a good place for creatives. It's just that we have so many hurdles and bottlenecks on the industry with corporate giants and labels and execs,
Yep.
and that makes the creative process just 10 times harder.
For sure.
You know,
I think people try to copy what they think is working, and that dilutes the music for sure.
Yeah.
And then I think the people actually making really good and creative music, it's impossible to find them.
right?
We do playlist curating, one of the many things that we do. And some of the people that send in music are incredible, but they have like 16 followers.
Right, and I think that's beautiful.
It's cool, but
Yeah.
like I
It's not
need
gonna
him to
translate.
have,
Yeah, right. It's not
So-
really gonna translate. And talk about playlisting. Right, I feel like all the playlists are the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you go on Rap Caviar or you go on New Music Daily or whatever. It's all the same songs.
It is.
Right? So it's like where's the like the different?
For sure.
Like where is not talking about your guys' playlist.
Nah, listen,
'cause
one of our playlists is
yeah.
called Rap Discover, and we primarily promote people that you never heard of
They're
before.
right. And I
That's
think
what we're
I
trying
think
to do.
those playlists are what's important, right? Because if you're just doing playlists with music that people are already going to listen to because they're fans of that, right? That really doesn't make much sense to me unless you're doing like a themed playlist,
Right.
like a workout playlist,
Right.
or all right, put the music that people listen to on there.
For
But
sure.
making music is like for the giants. They should be helping creatives get found.
They
you know?
need to
like
be.
Instead of keeping it all to themselves.
Right.
You know?
And it's a data game now more than like a talent and like a
Mhm.
real musical game.
1000%.
So these people are inclined to put the most popular song in their playlist because they know, people are listening to, whatever the hot record is at the moment. Let me
Right.
add that so I can get some listeners.
Right.
Giving, Jimmy in Ohio no shot of
No
getting
shot.
his
Unless he's
record
paying
heard,
for it.
unless he's paying for
Pay
it.
to play.
Did you see what's going on with radio?
What?
This payola crackdown with the feds.
Explain to me more about it because I'd love to. Just
I watched
get more
some
insight.
academic clips and Rory and Maul. That's really the only sources I've gotten so far. But they said a Rico on radio was coming, and some of our favorite radio
Rico
hosts
I did
in
hear
charge.
about that. And also with all the bots and labels and
crazy.
I mean, I feel like Ricos are going to start coming all over the place.
They're
for
coming for the music
these
industry.
giants, and honestly, they should because now more than ever, you got the people that haven't created a song in their life making all the money, bro.
Getting all the pub.
And the the people that are blood, sweat, tears, like dedicating their life, would rather sleep in a box than not make music, are like not eating.
Unbelievable.
So let the Ricos fall, bro.
They're about to.
Let the Ricos fall, man. Like, because I know in this space it's a lot of pay to play. There's a lot of monopolies going on, and a lot of background bullshit that is just that people don't know, people don't see.
Right.
But I really hope it gets all exposed because I believe that the whole industry just needs like a full reset. Like
I think we're seeing it.
We need Noah's flood in the in the industry. You know what I'm saying? So that we can just have a huge reset and be able to rebuild on our own terms. And I feel like there's even infrastructures in place to help us build on our own terms.
For sure.
Empire. Empire's one. Shout out Empire.
Shout out Empire.
Shout out Ghazi. Shout out Ilman. But I think labels like Empire where they support creative ownership.
For sure.
Right? Where they're not necessarily going to force a record deal on you that you don't own your rights, you don't own your masters, you don't, own any of that. And then they support independency.
It's amazing.
Right? It's beautiful. And if there's more infrastructures like that into place, I think music will go into a good spot. It's just we need the infrastructures that are not like that to be torn down first.
Have you heard of Even.biz?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I love what they got going on. Shout out
bro,
Even.
I did my last release through Even. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, my last release was through Even. If you guys don't know what Even is a platform that you can basically upload music, content, anything really creative in that way, and you basically go direct from creative to consumer, right? You're just blocking out straight middlemen, right? So in my experience, what I did is I did a pre-release for my last single on Even.
Okay.
And it was a pay what you want, kind of thing, which is what they have. But then I had certain things that were special in there, right? So
okay.
I had, pay what you want for the single release. You can get that. Pay what you want for BTS content of the music video shoot, right? Pay what you want for a one-on-one 30-minute phone call with me. Like,
crazy.
And people took advantage of that. And
That's amazing.
It's cool because it ended up being creatives that booked those calls, which was super cool. Like, it wasn't really to them, it could have been a fan situation.
For sure.
But me, I didn't even look at it like that. I just was like, yo, you're a creative, bro. Like, those 30-minute phone calls ended up turning to like an hour.
That's incredible.
An hour 15, and it was just like super valuable. And I feel like Even is providing that infrastructure.
For sure.
Right? Providing that space where there's a lot of big time artists now that are like, yo, I'm gonna fuck with Even. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Let me get on Even. And it's cool because basically the money that I needed, right, to shoot the video, to market, it all came through Even.
Incredible.
Right? So it's like the infrastructure to be able to use a fan base to fund your process is
so cool.
Bro, it's beautiful.
That's
There's
so
nothing
cool.
like it,
It would take you 1 billion streams on Spotify to pay for your music video.
Brother, let's not even talk about streaming. Streaming, listen, if you're shooting to get placements for streaming, quit.
Right.
Honestly, unless you're like in bed and making music with like the elite artists.
Of course.
Right?
Of course. Which, happens for some people.
Right. It does happen for some, very few.
Very, very, very few.
But it's like if you're not working with the elite, like you're not really making cheese.
It's the truth.
Like, you're not, you know? Like, I have a buddy of mine, he produced a Tory Lanez song, bro, over 300 million streams,
Amazing.
yada, yada, whatever. You know, he didn't collect anything from BMI, or he just didn't have his business right.
Got you.
Got his business right.
Okay.
Right? Went to go collect, and, like, it wasn't even nothing crazy. Like, it wasn't even like, oh, I can make a living off this.
Right.
It was like, oh, okay, this is a cool bag, but, like, depending on your lifestyle, gone. Right? And
easy come, easy go.
Right. So it's like, you know, things got to change.
Things got to change. I mean, we were out in the hall earlier chopping it up. We actually had the real podcast out there.
Yeah,
Y'all
honestly. Yo, that's when the real conversations take place, when no one's listening.
It's the truth. But you mentioned something that, you know, we find to be true, too, being in this industry, is that the money's in licensing. The money's in syncs. The money's in
the money is in syncs. Like, well, like syncing, international, right? Like, the money is there. Honestly, American streaming has been on a steady decline.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a study on it. I was just having a conversation with Ghazi from Empire. We were talking about this, you know, where, like, if you look at the statistics, streaming is on a major decline, especially for hip hop. Right. So it's like, all right, what do we do? You know? But streaming in general, you're not touching cheese, bro.
No, not at all. I mean, it's 0.003 cents a stream on average.
Right.
You then split that. 70% goes to the master, the rest goes to publishing.
Right.
Then whoever's involved in the record.
I mean, bro, sometimes it's not even
70%
on the master. Let's talk about
it. Right.
Sometimes, majority of the times, it's 90%.
Sometimes.
Where they own 90%, and the creatives are only touching 10% on the master. And if you don't know what a master is, ask ChatGPT. It's going to put you on.
Read Music Business Unlocked, out now, Amazon, TikTok Shop. Teach you everything, all about music.
Everything.
Business.
I love that. You're not really seeing it, you know? You're not seeing it with there.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen that viral Snoop Dogg clip. What he's got, like 40 million streams.
Bro, one of the biggest artists on the planet. Let's talk about it. One of the biggest artists on the planet. And he's talking about, bro, like, I didn't even make that real cheese while the label's eating, Spotify's eating, Apple Music's eating.
Crazy.
Right? They're all eating. And we're not.
The money's coming from somewhere. They got to give it back to the creators.
The money's being made, and the money is being... It's like modern day slavery, bro. It's like sharecropping.
It is.
You know?
It's unbelievable.
I've been having this conversation for so long, bro, that it's like legal sharecropping, right? Where they're gonna make you do all the work, you're gonna be in the field, right? And you're gonna reap no benefits.
Right.
Right? Like, all right, here's some bread to make you happy.
Shut this guy out.
While people are having a feast in the crib.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? And
they said Daniel Ek is worth more than all the top earners on Spotify put together.
Bro, Lucian Grange.
Bro,
like, man's made almost $500 million last year.
Crazy.
Right? What was the last song he recorded? What artist? Let's talk about it. What artist made $500 million last year?
Right. Crazy.
Bro, not one. Drake might have been close, maybe.
Right.
You know?
But, speaking of Drake, you know? So that whole radio thing I mentioned earlier, they said shout out and hats off to Drake. He's the whole reason. Bro, that whole thing that happened with iHeart.
He's leading this whole thing. Shout out Drake, man.
Shout out to Drake.
Drake is one of the realest in the game. And I'm gonna say it right now.
For sure.
He's one of the realest in the game, not just when it comes to the game, right? But what he does for creatives. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me more about that.
You know, Drake's the only, top elite artist that happily puts artists on.
He does.
Right? All the time. Like the song that just dropped with him and Yeet. He's got Julia Wolf on the front. No one knew who Julia Wolf is.
Right.
Right? Before Drake.
For sure.
And now Julia Wolf's life is changed forever. Right? He did that with so many artists. And the thing with Drake is that there's a lot of situations where he'd give a feature and not even charge for it.
Crazy.
Right? And there aren't artists in the industry like that. Like, if you're going to get one of the biggest, like, not even one of the biggest feature, you know?
Right.
You're paying tons, bro. Like, the average price for, like, a top-tier feature is, like, $200,000 to $500,000 maybe.
Crazy.
Maybe it can even touch $1 million sometimes, like, depending on the situation. But, he doesn't charge for certain things. Like, if he's very genuine in that way. Like if he fucks with you, he fucks with you, and he's gonna give you that. Now, there's not a lot of people that will do that
Right.
and then run with them after. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like he doesn't just give the feature and be like, all right, peace.
Right.
Like, bro, he went on a run with Migos.
Crazy. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, Migos wouldn't be where they're at without Drake. There would be no Quavo, Offset, Takeoff, Long Live Takeoff. You know what I'm saying? And
how do you feel about the people that call him a culture vulture for doing exactly what you said just now? Because no good deed goes unpunished.
I think that's selfish, bro.
Right.
I think that's so selfish to like say that he's a culture vulture just because he's putting people on. Like you're seeing it from like a such toxic human perspective.
Right.
Where you don't see the human aspect of it, right?
For sure.
Drake's not over here trying to like put people on and work with other people just to be a part of the culture.
Right.
Like if he genuinely fucks with the music, right? He's gonna give you a feature, bro.
For sure.
I've witnessed it hands on. Like
that's real.
I've witnessed real conversations like happen. You know what I'm saying? And to say that he's a culture vulture, I feel like that's not fair. You know what I'm saying? Because he's done more than the people that aren't being labeled as culture vultures.
Right.
Right? Let's talk about it, you know? Kenny, you know?
Right.
He's not being labeled a culture vulture, but what the fuck has he done for artists?
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love music in general. You know, I'm a fan of Kenny's music. You know, his old music, really. His new music, not so much. I'm just gonna keep it real.
Fair enough.
You know, I like old Kenny, you know, Section 80 and, you know, fucking Good Kid, Mad City.
Mad City.
You know, like...
I remember buying that
Right,
CD.
when him and Drake were cool. Like, music was top tier, you know?
What was that record?
Poetic Justice, bro. That's
Crazy.
one of my favorite records.
Crazy.
But Drake, he gives people opportunity, right? And then he expands upon that. He loves this music shit.
He does.
Right? Like working in close proximity with him, like I've learned that.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's all about music to him.
Are you able to explain like some of his process that you were able to witness?
Man, Drake is one of the best creatives, bro. Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like he has multiple processes from just what I've seen from, you know, being in certain circles and working on certain things.
Right.
It's really different per record, you know?
That's cool.
Where a lot of the times it comes from like freestyles on voice notes.
Dope.
You know, where you just be like, bro, I got this like crazy idea. And like, then that voice note starts circulating, and you know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, like Drake is one of the GOATs, though,
right.
For real. Like, don't get me wrong, Drake definitely works with other producers, other songwriters, like other artists, other creatives, but like he really is one of the greats with his process. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's songs that we've sent and he's cut and he's changed lyrics, and I'm like, how the fuck did he even think of that? You know what I'm saying?
Hard.
Like how did you even think of that? Right? And it really blows my mind, and it just grows my level of respect.
Sick.
You know, towards Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like huge Drake advocate. You know, and not just on some fangirl shit. Like he's a real creative.
Yeah.
And then he's taking it to levels that no one else has. He's fighting giants that no one else has the balls to.
That's for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like no one else has the balls to go up UMG.
For sure.
Nobody. Literally not one.
No one's got a big enough voice to even try to go against them.
One.
The biggest artist in the game did it.
So if Drake is willing to stand up against UMG, he's got some people in his corner.
For sure.
Right? Where there's going to be a shift. You know what I'm saying? And I'm waiting for that shift, bro. You know, I
think we're lucky to be in the industry at this time, you know?
Bro, super.
It's a transition period.
I mean, bro, we're always gonna be lucky. Anybody that works in this music shit, you're lucky, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up. You know? There's people that are struggling, bro.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Working their 9 to 5.
Yep.
And any second that they get, they're creating. And they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And they probably never will.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's a really sad reality. So it's like to be in the music shit, like it's not even like, yo, we're lucky because it's the greatest time. Like, no, like we're truly lucky, bro.
No, we
like to make a living off this music shit is not an easy feat. You know what I'm saying? And
I saw an Instagram clip that said if you could pay a light bill off of anything that you created from nothing,
yeah,
you're winning.
You're winning, bro.
You're winning.
You're winning. You know what I'm saying? You might not be winning in your perspective, but you know, it's all perspective at the end of the day. Like, what do you really want to do it for? And
For sure.
That's like the biggest questions that I asked people that ask me, like, yo, how do I get to X, Y, and Z? Like, do you have any advice? And I always ask them, like, what are you in it for? You know, are you in it to make $1 million? Because if you are, like, quit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that $1 million, you're not gonna see it for a very long time.
Fair enough.
Unless you're just like an anomaly, which there are anomaly artists all the time, where it happens, where you'll go 0 to 100 real quick, and before you know it, you have $10 million.
Right.
Right. And you don't even know what to do with it. And there's no guidance on it from labels. There's no mental health help. Like,
right.
You know, and it becomes a series. It's like, you know, the pick of lesser evils when it comes to music shit.
With that said, how do you define success? At least for you.
Bro, to be honest, my like thought process and definition of success has completely changed ever since I became a father. You know, like before I became a father, I thought success was, you know, having wealth, having tangible, materialistic things. You know, I grew up in Miami.
Okay.
You know, let's talk about it. It's a very materialistic place.
Shout out 305.
Shout out 305. Grew up in Miami, but I'm from Broward though.
Okay.
Like, let's keep it.
Shout out 954.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out 954. Broward boy for life. You know what I'm saying? This is Broward design. This is society. Like I just rep Broward to the death of me, bro. Born and raised in Broward. Not the world doesn't really know about Broward, so I just say Miami.
Fair enough.
You know, but like
but if you know,
you know. You know. Success used to be tangible.
Yeah.
Right? But now success to me is not tangible.
Fair enough.
Right? It's the 10 minutes that I'm able to spend with my daughter at home because I work from home. That's success.
It's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Like being able to have experience with my family. You know, like I sent a super dope Airbnb, right, to my family chat. And it was just like an idea. I was like, bro, this place is sick.
Yeah.
Like 5 bedrooms, a huge backyard, lazy pool, like just crazy property, right?
Right.
And to be able to just like, yo, let's create an experience. Let's create a memory. Success. Right? So obviously, like getting placements and becoming bigger in music and making the most money, like that is successful to a certain standpoint. But I feel like true success is when you're also filled with joy when you have that said success, right? Where there's a lot of people where they become successful materialistically, right? And they're not necessarily holding on to joy. Like, is that true success? Did you succeed in life?
Right.
I don't think so, right? So success to me is being able to one, spend the time with the people you love and the people that love you freely. Right, that's success.
That's some real shit.
That's
some real shit.
Real talk, you know, and like everyone, you know, it's very subjective, right? Like everyone's definition of success is their own,
for sure,
right? And I won't tell someone else like, no, that's not success, because maybe to them that's their success level,
for sure,
and that brings them joy.
Everyone's on a different journey,
for sure. But I think success is just tapping in, you know, with the people you love and being able to do that freely. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're working a 9 to 5. And you get to go home and see your family every day, like you're successful, bro.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you hate your job. Like if you hate your 9 to 5, like okay, you're not successful because you're not reaching your maximum potential of like intake of joy. You know what I'm saying? And when you're always striving, you know, for more joy, you're getting closer and closer to success. Like that's
real
for me.
That's real.
Yeah,
that's
truly.
Real. Dude, how has becoming a father changed the way you make music?
Immensely.
Yeah.
Like it's changed the way I make music in such the most positive ways. And you know, before I was like making music for a goal.
Okay.
Right?
What do you mean by a goal?
Like I was making music to like get a deal.
Okay. Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? Like putting in the work, putting in the hours. Bro, like I'm well over 10,000 hours. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 40, 50,000 hours plus. And my goal was to like, you know, get signed, you know, get a pub deal, get some funding, like to be able to just like live off of it. And when I had a baby, it started to become different.
Okay.
Right? Where it was like, okay, like I'm not doing this just to get signed, because then life became so much more real when I first held it. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's so cliche, but bro, it was like the most surreal moment, right? Where that completely changed the course of like my energy when I'm creating music,
Right.
right? Where music and feelings started to birth at that moment that I've never had, never held, knew about,
Right.
but never experienced. So when I finally got to digest like that feeling, bro, the outpour of the creativity just started flowing. And not just creativity, like milestones in my musical journey,
Right.
right, started to become very real and present when I had a baby,
Right.
right? Like they say babies bring blessings, making life is like the most truest art form,
Literally.
you know?
Most beautiful thing you can do.
Right. And when we, me and my fiance, when we created life, there was energy that like was created from that.
Right.
Right. And that energy that I carry now on a day-to-day basis is like when I'm in the studio recording, the feelings that are coming out of me are like something that I've never experienced
That's
or
very
felt
cool.
before.
That's cool.
Right. So it really did elevate things. Like, bro, right before I had my baby, like I was a starving artist. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I
Right.
was a hustle entrepreneur. I would make bags. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Mhm.
you know, I would do a show, make a 40 piece, and then like live off that for a year or something until like the next show.
Part of the
Or,
game.
I'd always do side hustles and whatnot. But like truly, I was like, didn't know where my next paycheck was coming from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I always made it work though. Like there was never a time that I didn't have a penny in my bank account. Like I always made it work. I think words have power. So like at the time when I didn't have money, right? When I only had $10, like I would never tell people I'm broke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, can you go here? No, bro, I'm broke. Like I would never say that.
Right.
Because broke, bro, when you say that,
Words are powerful.
it has really powerful. It's really powerful.
There's
So,
a reason they call it spelling.
right.
You know?
And when I had the baby, everything started happening in music. I got my deal,
Real.
right? I got placements with Kanye.
Crazy.
I got cuts with Bieber, cuts with Drake,
Amazing.
cuts with Don. Like, bro, it just started pouring in.
Right.
Because I was at a standpoint where I was like, how the fuck am I gonna have a baby right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, how am I gonna have a baby? Like,
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay.
So at the time when I had a baby, I was 25, turning 26. I was
Yeah.
like around there.
Young.
Yeah. Typically, there's parents that, bro,
For
have
sure.
babies at
I know people.
18,
Yeah, it's
19.
fucking
My mom
16.
had me at 19.
There you
Like,
go.
my mom had my sister at 17. So
Yep.
it's like, everyone's journey is different, but the blessings started pouring in, bro.
Real.
And it was for a reason. God knows what He's doing every second of the day.
Sure.
He knows what He's doing ahead of time. He knows what He did, and He knows what's gonna happen. And it's like when you trust in that, everything starts to just flow, and that's what happened when I had my baby. So, bro, it changed the
That's real.
music perspective like tremendously, bro.
For
Like,
sure.
shout out Aria Joy. That's the love of my life, bro.
Love,
Most beautiful
man.
little girl ever, bro. Super
Congratulations.
genius. Thank you, bro.
That is so dope.
Thank you. It's the best thing ever, bro. Honestly, if you're thinking about being a father and you hadn't made a decision yet, have that fucking kid. Have that goddamn baby.
Did it change the actual creative process too, as far as the way you approach music? You gotta like,
not
did
really.
your times change at all?
Not really. Like,
Okay.
I don't think my approach changed of like creatively, because I'm always like feeling first.
Cool.
So like I'm always like, if I feel a beat feels good, okay, load it up and let's start putting melodies on it. Let's see if those
Fire.
melodies feel good. That didn't change.
Got you. Let's talk more about that process. So
Okay,
like
yeah.
top lines, melodies, put words later kind of thing?
Yes, right? Unless like there's certain phrases that stick out, I'll like write them down in my head. Like there's times where I'll be reading a book or I'll be having a conversation or watching a movie or a show, and like a phrase will stick out heavily to me. And I'm like, oh shit, that's good. Let me write it down in my notes, right? And like sometimes I'll go back to like my, call it encyclopedia, or in my notes of just phrases, words, ideas of things like that. It could start off that, but then like I'll tap into a feeling from that phrase, like if I ever start from there.
Right.
But I usually never do.
Okay.
My process really, if I'm in with the producer, I love to just create from scratch.
Okay.
Right? I think.
What do you listen for like in a beat or during the production process that like gets you going?
I don't think I'm listening for something. I think I'm waiting for a feeling.
Okay, that's
right?
real. That's real.
Like truly, I'm not listening for like a specific sound or like a specific genre. Like I'm waiting for a feeling.
That's right.
Right. And if it makes me, oh shit, like
What's that?
Yo,
Yeah.
load it up. Like if you get that loaded up feeling, that's what I'm waiting for. You know what I'm saying? And
shout out to the loaded up feeling. I know exactly. If you do music, you know.
Yeah, you know, right? That's really what I'm looking for if we're like going through beats.
Right.
You know, like if I'm in with someone and they're just like playing me a bunch of beats or whatnot, or someone sends me a beat, like if it doesn't give me that, I want to load this up.
Right.
I'm moving past it.
Do you make beats as well?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Fire.
I produce, I songwrite, I executively produce, don't tell nobody. Okay.
Hello. Man, listen,
you know what I'm saying?
We had these questions all planned up. I feel like we answered a lot of them, but like that brings me into some of these questions real quick. Cause like, question number one, for the people that don't know you, who is Bezi?
Oh, bro. Bezi is music, right?
That's right.
Like that's kind of how I always present myself.
Okay.
Like when I'm in the studio and I introduce myself to people or whatnot, and it's always the conversation like, yo, like what's your name? Oh, like you a producer or songwriter? And like, yeah. No, like, yo, I'm music. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of how like I don't produce as much, right? But like I'll take stems and rearrange and start getting real creative.
Cool.
But like when I introduce myself, I am music. Like that's kind of how, I live my life through music. Like there's not a day that I don't go without listening. There's not a day that I don't go without creating. Like, so I completely embody that. So,
right.
Bezi, even though he is an artist, he is a songwriter, he is a producer, he is an entrepreneur, he is a philanthropist, a family man, a dad, a husband, a brother,
right.
Like even though I am all those things, like I truly just embody music.
How do you stay focused wearing all those hats?
I don't.
Nah, it's just it's a juggling act.
I don't, bro. Like, I mean, focused is like one thing.
Right.
Like I got ADHD, bro. So like I'm all over the fucking place. Right. So like staying focused on juggling all those hats is like the most stressful thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Right.
But then when I think about all the stress, the automatic thought that comes behind it to keep me going is like, yo, I prayed for this.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And if I prayed for it, like how can I complain and not be focused?
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you have that kind of ultimatum, it kind of gets a little easier, but bro, honestly, it's been hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to juggle all of it.
For sure.
Truly, like, I'm a businessman. When I wake up and I'm managing business, and when the business kind of slows down later on in the day, I take on full-time dad. And even though I'm full-time dad throughout the whole entire day because I do work from home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like what I do allows me to work remotely wherever I want. So I'm still in the house with her. I'm being a dad throughout that whole entire time.
Got you.
Right? I'm being a fiance throughout that whole entire time. And when that starts to die down, I'm like full-time dad.
Got you.
I'm just like locked in.
Got you.
Like locked in on daughter, family, close time. Because one thing that I heard, and I know it's super cliche, everyone's gonna hear it, is like, yo, take advantage of like when they're young, because like they become like us.
For sure.
28, 30.
Yep.
Not giving a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? Like it ends up coming there. So that realization came like really early for me. Where I was just like, bro, nothing else is as important as this. So like I do that, and like once she goes down is when I'm like full creative.
Got you.
Right? Where the business is still running, because business is 24/7.
For sure.
Phone calls will happen at any time, or plays, or whatever the case may be.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
But I'm usually in the studio by night. You know what I'm saying? And like if I'm in the studio by the day, it's because like it's an important session.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I have mom stay at home with the baby.
Cool.
And
it's great to have a system. Right? Yeah.
But it's still stressful, still exhausting. You know, like wearing all those hats. I've never been more tired in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They say it's a blessing to be tired if you're doing something you
facts,
love.
It's good stress.
For sure.
Good stress. And on top of that, one thing that I did want to talk about is like mental health.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's hop into that. How do you take care of yourself with all this stuff going on? How do you look out for you? When do you have time for you?
I don't. Right? And that I feel like that's one of the biggest caveats here. Like where you wear all these hats, like you don't find time for you. And I think it's really important, which I am still in the middle of putting that practice into play, is like making time for you and your mental health. You know,
Right.
like everyone's always focused on their physical health, right? And I support it, but it's like you don't have a physical unless your mental is okay.
1000%.
Period. Right. And when you work in these type of spaces, mental health becomes so much more important, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like when you are in the music industry, mental health is like neglected, right?
For sure.
It's not offered at all. Like if you go to a regular job, like you're getting insurance, they're paying for your health.
Right.
If you want to go see a therapist, it's covered for 6 sessions or whatever it is. But in
this
the music industry,
you get an advance and a timeline.
Advance a timeline and a good luck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, do your job now. Like,
right.
I own you. You know what I'm saying? And they don't provide mental health, mental health help or practices or anything like that. I think that's one thing that these infrastructures that are starting to come up, Empire, even like all these infrastructures that will stand the test of time, I believe.
Yeah.
They should start implementing the things that these big labels and infrastructures don't.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like, we have way too many dead artists, bro.
Unbelievable.
And
I feel that has a lot to do with why the music's the way it is right now.
Right. It's a toxic place. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't take your mental health seriously, you will crumble, bro.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a sad place to work in because it's delayed gratification.
Yep.
Right? It's not like you're working and you get paid tomorrow. Like, fuck no.
Never that.
If that was the case, like, bro, we'd all be rich.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, records that come out, let's say this year that we made
bro,
4 or 5 years ago.
I had a record come out last year that I made in 2020. Right? So it's like there's things that people really got to focus on when they're creative with their mental health, and it should be taken seriously. Take time for yourself. Go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Therapy is not only meant for when you're bad.
Is that something you do?
For sure.
Fire.
I'm an advocate for therapy, bro.
Let's go.
Like, you know what therapy is? Therapy is just having a very intellectual conversation with someone that has more knowledge than you to deal with certain situations that you don't know how.
That's real.
Right?
How do you find a therapist?
That's a hard thing.
Yeah.
Like, unless you just know a good one.
Right.
Which I was blessed to like just have relationships where I ended up meeting a really good one.
Real.
But like, take the time to date therapists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Don't go to one therapist and be like, fuck therapy. Like, this person didn't know how to help me at all.
Gotcha.
Like, bro, take your time. Like, you got to really find the person that's going to, one, actually care about you. Right. And they're not just doing it because it pays, like, two, like, understands and can connect to your trauma. Right. And three, that you like.
Right. You got to vibe with the motherfucker.
Right, yeah,
right?
You got to vibe. Like, if you're going in there telling them your deepest, darkest secrets, like, you got to vibe.
Better make sure you vibe with this person.
But bro, I'm a huge advocate for therapy. Bro.
Cool.
Like, because a lot of times humans don't know how to decode their trauma. Right. They don't even know they have it. Right. There's tons of humans that they suppress. That there's humans that I even know that like don't remember their childhood. Right. Like, don't remember the trauma. Don't remember those things. But like, it still lives inside of you.
Right.
It will actually live in your body. Right. Not even just your mental. Like, trauma lives inside your actual body. And if there's undealt with trauma, you will deal with health problems later on along in your life. Right. You really will. I witness it with my fiance right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I know it's an open discussion, but she went through a lot of trauma in her life. Okay. Right. And because of that, she's now dealing with a condition called POTS. Okay. Right. Where it's when your nervous system is 24/7 in fight or flight mode.
Crazy.
Right. And that's undealt with trauma.
Gotcha.
Right. And when you go to therapy and things of that sort, you're starting to fight down that undealt with trauma that you don't even know is there.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, huge advocate for therapy. For sure.
I never did therapy. However, I was in a car accident in like 2019. It was a pretty bad car accident. Yeah. 13 staples in my head. My car folded up, flipped across the highway.
Miracle, brother.
Miracle for sure. They said whoever was in that car didn't make it. I made it almost, unscratched, a couple whatever.
Yeah, God is good.
I was doing real estate photography at the time, and I got back to work like maybe 3 to 6 months it took me to get to recover. But I go back to work and I don't know how I got into the conversation, but I take photos for this one woman. She was an older lady, this old Irish lady. I'll never forget it. And we're talking, and I have no idea how we got in the conversation, but we started talking about like therapy and like, you know, we spoke about what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I told her, I took a break from work because this, that, and that must have been traumatic. Nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight.
Little do you know.
And we spoke for a little bit. She's like, listen, you're doing me a favor by helping me sell my house, which I think we sold it like within a day with the photos I took.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Which is great.
Shout out.
But, she spoke to me. She's like, let's talk about that for a little bit. Cause like, you don't go through a traumatic experience like that and not have something, right? Yeah. So we spoke and we got down to like the pit of why that was traumatic, right? And it was like, more than death, right? It's about what you leave behind, who you leave behind, what happens if I'm not here to do this, that, and the third. And like she got down to the core in the pit, and the whole now I remember why we brought it up.
Bro, I was sent to you.
I was afraid of driving on the highway after that.
Of course,
rightfully so.
Yeah.
After I had that conversation, bro, I drive on the highway every day.
Yeah,
no problem.
Yeah,
but I was genuinely afraid to get in the car. That was therapy. That was therapy.
That was therapy.
One session.
And it's funny because like so many friend groups would be like, oh, like there's that one friend that's like the friend group therapist, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I know I play that role for a lot of my friends as well, but just because I love them, you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And we just always get into like really deep, serious conversations, and that alone is therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like the deep conversations you have with your friends is therapy. So it's like for you to look at therapy like a weird thing, like for you to look at it like, oh, like I'm struggling and now I'm lower and like I'm less of a person. Like, no, bro. Like you literally do therapy every day and you just don't even know it.
You don't even know it.
So it's like having therapy with a professional person that understands the psych, that understands the science behind the body and et cetera, it's truly helpful, bro.
Right. No, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the woman mentioned about the fight or flight mode, something about my nerves and blah, blah,
blah,
blah, blah.
Bro.
So I
totally
that understand.
Even still to this day.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That,
it's interesting stuff.
Right.
For sure.
Super traumatic experience.
Yeah,
so,
man.
I'm sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, it's great that we already covered a lot of these questions, but there's a few on here that I really wanted to bring up. So here's one of them. What would you say is like one of the hardest obstacles in this music industry that you've faced and how to overcome it?
Wow. That's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
Can you read it one more time?
So hardest obstacles in this game and how to overcome some of these obstacles in this game.
I think after one of the biggest obstacles that you get through, let's just talk about that one first, is you.
Okay.
Right? Like you are your biggest obstacle. If you become your biggest teammate, then you overcome that obstacle.
That's real.
Right? But for me personally, the biggest obstacle that I'm currently experiencing, because like I experienced so many obstacles that are just before, breaking down the gates, building your network, having people actually listen to your music and give you the time of day, et cetera. Those are tons of obstacles to go through. But the obstacles that I'm currently experiencing is corporate bullshit, right? Like where I'm requested somewhere and I go put in hours, I go put in dollars, time. I sacrifice time with my family, right? Which is my success.
Right.
And I go and I put in hours and I work and I work and I work. And just because I'm labeled a songwriter in the session, even though I'm doing way more than just songwriting. Of
course.
Like definitely producing as well.
Executive production, producing.
Yeah, just, being a kind of a puppet master. Like I really take over energy in studios. So my obstacle as a songwriter is that this industry is not pro songwriter, right? Songwriters get paid the least out of any creative really in the industry.
Isn't that fucking crazy? There's no songs
without us, right? There are billions and billions and billions and billions and billions, and let's just keep talking about it, billions of beats.
Yep.
Right.
Everyone's a producer.
Tons, bro.
Yep.
Bro, I have probably 1 billion beats on my phone.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? And there aren't that many songs, right? Even though songs are created every single day, released every single day on a major platform, the number of beats compared to the number of songs is
incomparable, bro.
Incomparable, right? So how does it make sense that the person, probably one of the most important pieces right? Even though like producers, I'm not downplaying production whatsoever.
Of course.
There's no song without a producer. There's no beat,
Right.
right? But there are things that do exist as like acapellas or acoustic versions, you know,
Right.
of songs. And there's full songs like that where it's just one instrument and
Right.
where a producer is not necessarily needed, right? But the artist themselves is a songwriter,
It's true.
right? So without songwriting, you don't have music. I mean, let me not say that. You'll have sounds,
You'll have sounds, right?
right?
Right.
But you won't have full music with the feeling element, the human emotion of melody, of words, etc. So in this industry, we get paid the least, right? And we get respected the least,
Unbelievable.
right? Where a producer right now, let's just break down business structure, right? A producer gets paid 3 different ways, always, right? They get a fee, they get publishing, and they get master points, right? For so long, and I really think it stems back to slavery, and I'll explain that in a bit.
Yep.
For so long, it's been that songwriters only get publishing, right? They don't get a fee, they don't get master points. They call them production points. I don't know what the fuck a production point is.
You want me to tell you what a production point is?
No. Because there's just master
It's
points.
terrible.
Right? There's
Yeah.
master points.
Yep.
There's the master and then there's publishing.
Yep.
It's master points. And the people that are entitled to the master point is the people that created the music.
Right.
Right? Now, you're only going to get put into a situation where you have to split 6, 8, 10 points between the producers on the song
Right.
if they're signed to a label and the label owns majority of the master.
Yep.
Right? Which that alone is sharecropping, you know?
For sure.
They still got to make their money back. I get it.
Yep.
But goddamn, bro, 90%.
And mind you, a point is not an actual percentage of the master. It's a percentage of the artist's share of the master. So it's even diluted
Talk
even
about it.
further. Crazy.
Right. So you're really fighting over crumbs at the end of the day.
Right.
But songwriters never get master points.
It's fucked.
Right? How does that make sense? How does a producer that spent 15 minutes making that beat,
Right.
right? Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of situations where producers will put in fuckload of time on a record with post-production and whatnot. But let's just say they never did, and they just made the beat in 15 minutes, and that the songwriter was in the studio for 8 hours creating that shit.
Right.
Right? The artist was in the studio for 8 hours creating that shit. And the producer is getting paid 3 times more than the songwriter.
And it's down to a technicality because it comes down to the sound recording. If you're the songwriter and your voice, your physical sound is not on the recording,
Yep.
they think they could just disregard you,
Right.
throw you away
and
like
there's
trash.
like cheat codes to make them not,
Right.
right? Where you don't come into the situation on the business aspect and say that you're a songwriter and you song wrote.
Right.
You say you did vocal production,
There you go.
right? And that's like a really big cheat code, right? That I'm even experiencing with one of the giants,
Wow.
right? Where they said, hey, we don't pay songwriters fees or master. We'll just give you publishing.
Wow.
And I'm just like, what do you mean you're gonna give me? It's my record.
My fucking song.
Excuse me? Like, oh no, we're just gonna give you this. Like, bro, what? Get the fuck out of here
Yeah,
with that.
that's
right?
wild.
So the thing that's gonna make the change, the shift with songwriters is when we all agree that it's fuck getting a placement,
Okay.
right? If you're placement chasing, that means that you will let these execs and big giants walk all over you when it comes to the business, especially if you don't have business management on your team, a lawyer on your team.
Talk to
A
these
lawyer, a
up-and-comers.
lawyer that actually gives a fuck. So let's talk about it. There's lawyers out here that don't give a fuck about you, and they just give a fuck about a name,
Yep.
relationships,
Mhm.
sitting in the right rooms, rubbing with the right shoulders,
course.
and will fuck you in your own deals, right? Because they're getting
Unbelievable.
paid by the label. But if you have good business and whatnot, and you stand on that principle of like, yo, fuck a placement, right? Start saying no.
Yeah.
Things will change, right? And I'm currently experiencing it.
Okay.
Where I've said no so many times, bro. In the past year and a half to almost 2 years now, the amount of no's over the amount of yeses that I
Really?
have been bigger, right?
Crazy.
Where
And that's due to them undervaluing you.
right.
Yeah.
And because I've come to a point where it's like, okay, if I'm just gonna let them walk over me, the same people that I was in the room with creating the record are gonna make 3 times more than me, right? And I'm gonna get the shitty end of the stick.
Right.
When I like fully infiltrated that record. It would not be what it is without me being on it. I'm not saying that in a cocky standpoint. It's just like the truth, right?
Of course.
And when I started saying no and I started telling labels I'm not clearing it,
right,
shit started getting shaky.
Interesting.
Right? And a lot of people are scared to get blackballed because they will threaten you with that. Like,
right.
oh, you're not going to be able to do shit in this industry. You're not going to be able to work with nobody. Fuck out of here, bro.
Cap.
Fuck out of here.
The music's good. The music's good.
If the music's good, you have nothing to worry about. If your music is bad, fucking take the publishing.
right. No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But when you're standing 10 toes on that shit,
yeah,
it starts to create a wave, right? Where I'm in the middle of a situation where like I have almost 5 songs on an artist's project.
Okay.
Right? And it's part of that, one of the big giants that signed that artist. It's a part of their policy that they do not pay songwriters. Bro, tell me how much sense that makes.
0.
It's actually illegal, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. You know, that's a whole other conversation where we can sit here for hours. But it's in their policy to not pay songwriters. So that's how I figured out the cheat code of the vocal production.
Got you.
Where I was like, okay, no, I did vocal production on here. Right? I'm not a songwriter.
And for the audience that's ignorant to maybe what you exactly do in the studio, you know, let me attest to it a little bit where, you know, let's say, you know, we're producers. Let's say we make a beat. Bezi's in the room. He hops on it. And let's say we're cutting for another artist, just for an example. That artist is cutting most of the time, at least from my experience, word for word,
bro.
Melody for melody,
word for word, melody
breath for
melody.
breath.
Except Drake.
You know,
Drake will take word for word sometimes, but bro, he changes shit so much. And I know there's a lot of artists that do, but then there's also a lot of artists that aren't truly creative in that craft.
Right.
And they'll just cut the shit.
I mean, I've heard some records from, you know, from Simon, for example. Then when the, you know, big artist cuts and it comes out,
word for word,
fucking identical.
Word for word. And you want to even know what's fucked up? Is that those artists, when they take shit word for word, their camp will try to bully the record.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Where they'll be like, all right, I'm going to get paid for the record. I'm going to take 25% publishing, which you're already, you know, the songwriter's already getting the shitty end of the stick by just being cut down in publishing because the artist always takes from the writing side.
Right.
Unless you're doing pop splits, which I'm really pushing forward, moving forward. Like, if you're a producer and you take 50% of the record, like, don't work with me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Don't. You know, because like we should be splitting this equal.
For sure.
Period. And if you're not on that type of timing and you're like, no, I'm taking 50% in master, 50% in publishing, it's like, bro, like I don't got time for all that.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So there's artists that will push for that, you know, but like if you have good business, bro, not even the biggest artists are getting that. You know, Justin Bieber, Beyonce, like they're not even taking 25%.
Right.
But there's artists that will push that, you know, and you just gotta fight, stand your ground. But yeah, bro, these artists will take stuff word for Bro, 95% of my placements. 95% of my placements, word for word.
Unbelievable.
You know what I'm saying?
It's weird, like the culture now, like, you know, we'll go back to Drake real quick. How we got so much like bullshit and so much heat for the leaks that came out, the reference tracks, let's call them. Meanwhile, back in the day, let's talk about Frank Sinatra for a second. The guy didn't write any songs.
He didn't write none.
They all wrote the music for him.
It was a black man.
Right.
It was a black man.
And they said, let's use this blue-eyed guy as the face.
Blue-eyed, beautiful guy that has an amazing voice. I'm not gonna take that away from him.
Cool voice.
But more marketable.
Right.
Bro, songwriting has been created
and it was
for
okay.
the test of time.
It was okay when he did it, but when Drake does it, it's a problem. I don't understand the disconnect.
Bro, because you want to know what the disconnect is? Is that at that time, people were so unaware of that. Right? Super unaware.
People are too involved now, I guess.
Way too involved. Everything is so accessible.
There's no more mystery. There's no more mystique to artists.
Right. Everything is always in your face. Like, we live on the internet. There's hackers. Like, you know, there's people that would, bro, the amount of times that my shit tries to get hacked is insane, bro.
I can imagine.
Bro, I have
probably got some shit in the
double, triple authenticator shit on everything. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's so accessible now, you know? And back then it wasn't accessible. You only just knew what you heard.
Right.
And didn't know what you didn't see. But you see everything now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, back then, they didn't know, they didn't care, you know? And now that once you know, you start to form an opinion.
It's true.
You know, and you can't form an opinion on something you don't know about.
Right.
Right? So like once you know and you're hip to it, you're starting to create an opinion like, oh, he's not a real artist because he doesn't write his own shit, bro. Every fucking artist in the industry takes records.
Every one of them.
Every single fucking one.
They care so much in rap music because of MC stuff.
Bro, fuck that bullshit, bro.
You know?
There's battle raps that are written by other people, bro. Where they're in their friends with their homies and they come up with a bar. They're like, oh shit, nigga, bro, I need to put that into my, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all a part of the creative process. I believe you're a better creator if you're working with more creators.
I agree.
If you're working just by yourself, you're limiting yourself. Truly.
For sure.
It even goes to a biblical sense. Like, when two or more are gathered, God is there.
There you
know
go.
What I'm saying? So it's like, making music is a very spiritual experience.
All day.
Right? It's super spiritual.
That's why when you mentioned before, it goes off of a feeling. Like,
right.
It really does.
So, like, if it's spiritual and we're spiritual beings, like, why the fuck would we not collaborate? Right? So, it doesn't make sense to me, bro. I never truly understood the ghostwriting shit. Like, when all the ghostwriting shit with Drake happened, with Quentin Miller and all that shit, I was like, bro, how do I become Quentin Miller? Like, bro, he's probably rich as fuck. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Miller,
right. Like, shout out Quentin. So it's like, I never understood that. And if you have that mindset, you're not a creative.
Right.
There's not one creative that will not work with another creative.
Right.
There's not.
Right.
So all those opinions and shit are coming from non-creatives or people that have way too big of an ego.
Talk to them.
Right? Way too big of an ego, like all in hip hop and whatnot. And bro, now it's completely changed, you know, where it's understood now. Like, okay, there's songwriters in this world, right? And that's where the music really comes from, right? It's part of the game. And now songwriters more than ever are making a brand for themselves.
For sure.
You know? Before then, that did not exist. You were a ghostwriter. You were not literally a songwriter. Right. You were a ghostwriter. But now moving into the 2000s and 2010s and 2020s now, you're a songwriter. Yeah. You know, you're not a ghostwriter. You never hear that anymore. Yo, can we get a ghostwriter in the room? Like, no, bro. Let's get a songwriter. So, you know, respect is building there.
For sure.
You know, but
have you seen the show Hitmakers?
I haven't, bro.
Gotta see it. I think you would appreciate it.
Yeah?
To me, it was like the one
My homeboy's
I've
on that.
seen.
Shout out Ben Johnson.
Shout out Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson got, bro, tons of number ones, bro. He's on the show. I just haven't watched it yet.
But it really, like, it depicts of what a studio writing session is really
for sure,
like.
because they were in the shits. You know, they were in the rooms
for
and
sure.
whatnot.
I've seen a lot of bullshit where it's like, that's not really what goes down.
It's also a reality TV show. Let's talk about it.
For sure. Yeah, there's a little drama and stuff, but as far as the studio sessions,
I mean, there becomes drama in the music space.
Right.
There's drama that happens all the time, but it's not fucking seen. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, behind the scenes.
Yeah, but I definitely do gotta watch it. But I'm really glad that a light is being shined upon songwriters because we get fucked every day, bro, and it's like really tiring.
Yeah,
you know, it's exhausting. It makes me sometimes like think about quitting. You know, where I'm just like, yo, fuck being a songwriter.
Right.
I don't care if I ever get a placement again in my life, and I'm just gonna drop my own music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And bro, that thought has crossed my mind more times than you can even imagine.
What happens in your life where that thought crosses your mind? Is there like one particular thing that's gone down where you're like, damn, bro, fuck this, I quit?
I mean, I'll never quit, bro.
Right.
You know, like, I'll always make music.
Yeah.
I can't live without it, bro. You know, ever since I was a kid, like, I was always around music. So I'll never really quit.
Yeah.
But, like, to push to, like, get placements and shit like that, I'm pretty sure eventually that would come to, like, a slow stop where, like, I'm grinding for it. I feel like it would start to become more natural, where like I create something and it just gets picked up because of the spaces and networks and circles that I'm in, instead of me like, yo, send it. Yo, I think this would be great for, you know, like I don't think I'm gonna be on the grind for, I mean, I haven't been on the grind for like a placement like that in a while, and things have been kind of like coming to me, you know? But I think, you know, it'll start to become more based around me, you know, and like my music and what I'm feeling, you know, because I create all the time. So the amount of music that I'm sitting on, the amount of music that I have, which I'm gonna start releasing a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I finally got a situation settled with Empire. Shout out Empire.
Let's go. Shout out Empire.
So, you know, I'm gonna be dropping a lot more music now as an artist. You know, I have dropped as an artist already, but I'm gonna like really be putting time into it now more than ever, just because of how fucked up it is with, you know, songwriters and whatnot.
For sure.
You know, unless you're in the right places. you know, thankfully I am in the right places, but I still have to deal with the bullshit. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
but the transition will be there naturally, you know,
For sure.
where I'm just like always creating, and I feel like 10 to 20 years from now, it'll be like really solely focused around me and the people that I'm
That's
around's
what's up.
music, and the placements will just end up coming just because of the circles. You know?
Right. When you're in the studio, how do you know when it's like songwriter stuff versus artist stuff?
Feeling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right back to it, bro. Like,
Cool.
there's times where I'll make a record and I'll fall in love with it, bro. And I'm just like, I can't send this to nobody.
I need that for me.
I can't. And I have so many records sitting in my phone that no one in the industry has heard, bro.
Fire.
You know, and it's because it's so sacred, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's so sacred where it's like, when you fall in love with a record and someone else takes it, like, you get, even though it's like a great opportunity for your career, like, you'll be disappointed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like with that demoitis. You know, a lot of people call it
Yeah.
demoitis.
That's what I call it.
But it's truly like just being in love with a feeling. You know what I'm saying?
It's impossible to recapture certain feelings.
Bro, impossible, bro. Like, there's no way that you can recreate that energy from that day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or just everything you've been through
right.
leading into that moment. You know what I'm saying? You can't recreate that. So
Yeah.
it's like, there's times where like artists have cut my shit and I'm just like, should I not clear it? You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
And it's like, it becomes like a thing where you just got to be okay with it, with like letting go of that record. And that moment happens for me when I create it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, this isn't for me. Like, but it's a fire record. I'm gonna keep making it. And the ones that are for me, I'll hold close. And the only time that I will send it out is if it's like a major play. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh my God, like, I love this song so much, but if this artist cuts it, he'll do it justice.
Right.
Or she
right.
will do it justice, and it'll be 10 times bigger than if I dropped it.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And like, that comes to the ego death too as well.
Of course.
Where being a songwriter, you have to have a small ego, bro. You got to kill your ego daily, because like, working with other artists, bro, like, you really got to know how to you know, take a backseat to things.
It's a lot of chefs.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I hear you, man. It's a motherfucker.
It really is, but I love it, bro. I wouldn't,
Yeah.
I honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't, bro.
That's real.
Like, it's crazy because I just had this conversation with my fiance not too long ago where I was just like super frustrated that day, bro. I was angry. I like didn't have an appetite. I was stressed, and like, I finally laid in bed, and like, I couldn't fall asleep because of like how stressful I was.
Shit.
Right. And I turned to her and like, we just started talking. And you know, she really said something that caught me. And it was like, you know, she asked me like, what would you do? Like, what would you change to make it better? And like, I didn't have a solid answer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck. Honestly, bro, like, maybe I'd like be a billionaire. Like, maybe like that's the only thing that I changed.
Right.
Is like just more financial backing to like live my dreams.
But that goes back to what you said earlier, like how you define success.
Right.
To me, man, that's how you define success. You're a very successful man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful thing.
Bro, I carry it. You know,
we could always use more money, but you know, that's
for sure.
That's man-made. That's neither
bro,
here nor there.
More money gets made every single day, bro.
For sure.
There's more than enough money to go around this world.
Money comes, money goes.
Right.
It's about who you love and who loves you.
Yeah. That's true success.
For sure.
100%.
For sure. I see we're towards the end of time, so if I could just throw out a bunch of like fun, quick,
let's do it.
One-off questions to you.
Shoot off, speed round.
Outside of music, what's your favorite thing to do?
Fuck. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. Not really. Outside of music, my it's a really hard question because like music is my favorite thing.
That's it, yeah.
Bro, outside of music, I think my favorite thing to do is play video games.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm a gamer, bro.
There you go.
I'm a gamer. I've been a gamer, bro. I've been playing games since I was like 2 years old.
No shit.
Yeah, bro. Like,
favorite game?
It's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. I think One of my top favorite games is gonna be the God of War.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Ice in the back. I know he plays God of War. If you could hear us.
Yeah. Facts.
I know James does.
Bro, God of War is like one of the best games created. But if I would say like older games, obviously all the Mario games,
Fire.
like Super Mario Kart, Mario Party, Mario World, like all of those games are amazing. But I play a bunch of games.
That's
you know
what
I'm saying? Like
That's
I love FIFA.
Yeah.
Like anybody, y'all can see me in FIFA. Come correct. I need that bread on the table. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think God of War is like my favorite game.
Okay.
100%.
Dream collab, dead or alive?
Outside of GTA, Red Dead Redemption, Assassin's Creed, but we just keep going. Call of Duty, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
GTA. Yeah. I'm ready
no,
for that.
Bro, when GTA comes out, nobody talked to me for like 6 months. Swear to God.
We got Radio Rico before GTA 6. Crazy.
Crazy. What was the next one?
Dream collab, dead or alive?
I have a lot.
Okay.
I thought about this before.
Okay.
I don't have like one specific person.
Name your like top couple.
Yeah, I'll just name ones in no specific order.
No order, okay.
I would say Frank Ocean.
Amazing.
Michael Jackson.
Hell yeah.
Drake.
Yep.
I haven't, bro. Listened to that man since I was like, he raised me. You know what I'm saying? Like his music. You know?
Right.
Let me think. Whitney Houston.
Oof.
Yeah, I would love to be in the studio with her.
Big.
Adele.
Oof. Bro, Bezi Adele would be crazy.
Bro, if I can get in with Adele, listen, Adele, if you see this clip, holla at your boy. Bro, I would die happy if I could write a song with Adele, bro. Her music is incredible, bro. Incredible. So yeah, that was like in no specific.
That's
Travis Scott.
Yep.
You know, I would love Travis Scott, Amy Winehouse.
Okay.
Aaliyah.
Yep.
You know what's one? Louis Armstrong.
No shit. You got good taste, my boy.
Yeah. Like that's one for sure. Just love his music, bro.
Right.
But there's so many, bro.
Those are great names.
Being like a passionate creator, bro, I could go down a list forever.
You know, the most talented songwriters, producers I know listen to so much music, all different genres, all different varieties, and like based on the answers you just gave me, that makes a lot of sense. You know?
Love it. I love music. You know what I'm saying? Period.
I'm gonna do just a couple more questions here. What was your first placement?
First, so there's like minor and major.
What was your first major placement?
Okay, first major placement was Justin Bieber.
That's a crazy first major placement. What was your first minor placement?
That's so funny, bro. Oh my God. Yo, shout out Justin Bieber.
Shout out Justin Bieber.
Shout out Swag 1, Swag 2.
Arsenal, the
oh man. From yeah, first major placement was Justin Bieber. Minor placement, an artist called Moxie.
Okay.
Yeah, her name is Moxie. I wrote a song called Love Language.
Fire.
Yeah, it was really good. Time. There's a couple on the project that was like my first
dope.
Yeah, like official placement. Yeah.
What was your last placement?
My last placement that came out, I don't know. Let me look at my phone.
Yeah. Take a sip real quick.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me just take a little scroll here. Okay, my last placement was a song called Nympho.
Okay.
That's with Wolfface Joey.
Okay.
Amazing record. Oh, you're not familiar?
Nah,
Wolf is
I
fire.
need a peep.
Nah, Wolf is fire. So the record is like sexy drill, but R&B.
Hard.
It's like the kind of really the first one of its kind.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the last one I had, and then before that it was Time Moving Slow with Kanye.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
So that was like the last two.
I'm gonna give you the last two questions.
Okay, let's run it.
What's your favorite placement?
Ooh.
If you have one.
So the honest to God truth is that my favorite placement is unreleased.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that. More coming soon.
Yeah,
That's great. That's great.
More coming soon for sure. But released, Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
For sure.
And which record?
It's called Sundown.
Sundown.
Yeah, I have a lot of unreleased with him too.
Cool.
That like I pray sees the light of day.
Let's go.
Yeah. God, you know my heart.
I'm glad he's releasing again, you know?
No, for sure. I'm glad he's back in the game,
yeah.
and phenomenal projects.
Phenomenal. I haven't heard Swag 2 yet.
And to be completely honest, these projects set up the sound that we created together.
Sick.
Right? Because the type of music that we was creating, it was not in a sound that he was in. You know, it was a very different Justin Bieber that you never really heard at that time. So, you know, but Justin Bieber for sure.
Very, very like cool.
My favorite one.
Yeah, I definitely like the swag vibes. You know, we were seeing him on Instagram and stuff with these crazy rap songs and shit, and then he hits us with swag.
Bro, you want to know what that is, bro? Is being a father.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's real. This is the year of the father.
Straight up, 100%.
This is the year of the father.
Bro, that album, Swag, is the epitome of being a father, bro.
Dad albums.
100%.
We had dad hats, then we got dad albums.
No cap.
Dad bods, dad hats, dad albums.
It's not a dad bod. It's a father figure. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. With that said, I'm going to give you the final question of the day. Honestly, we didn't read most of these and we got through all of it.
But praise God.
If you had any advice for the new artists, for the up-and-coming songwriters, up-and-coming producers, what would that be?
Up-and-coming creatives. Bro, my only advice is never stop. As frustrating as it is, never stop. If you don't make $1 from it, don't stop.
Yeah.
Because then you have to just go back to your definition of why you're doing it, right? Which is why it's the question I always ask first, right? So like my advice would be ask yourself that question first. You know, write it down on a piece of paper and start writing down reasonings. And if those reasonings don't align with like your morality, like second guess it, you know, and then really realign. But don't stop. Consistency is everything, bro. Put in your 10,000 hours, master the fucking craft, okay? Don't come into this shit thinking that you're gonna make a couple beats and you're lit. You're gonna make a couple songs and you're fucking phenomenal. Like, bro, make a song every day. Make a beat every day. If you're a producer, you should be making 3 beats a day. Yeah. If you're a song, you should try to shoot for a song a day. You know, a songwriter or an artist, you should create.
That's
create, keep creating. Because once you stop, it all stops.
That's real.
It all stops. And now you just have to hope that everything that you worked on goes somewhere.
Crazy.
But like once you stop, it's done. So that's like my one and like biggest advice, bro, is never fucking stop.
It's amazing advice.
Yeah, bro.
Hell yeah. It's something to live by for sure.
100%.
I got so many more questions for you.
Bro, listen, we could do episode 2.
We're going to have to do episode 2
because
wow, what a good combo, man.
Yeah, man.
It's been a long time since I've seen you.
It has, bro.
We got to get back in the studio. So many
blessings,
blessings, bro. Yeah. Congrats. Fiance, daughter, man, music.
Come on.
Life.
God is good, man.
God is good.
God is good, bro.
Today was a crazy day, huh? With everything happening in the news.
Nuts, bro. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, bro.
R.I.P. Charlie Kirk.
It's nuts, dude. The world is nuts right now.
The world is nuts
right now. The world more than ever, I think, needs prayer.
It does.
And it needs unity.
And it needs people like you. You have a responsibility as a songwriter to bring some type of new energy. This all goes based off of feeling, right?
Yeah.
Producers too, not just songwriters, but like, you know, now's the time. I think the world needs it.
I think we need to stop creating. Let's talk about creatives, but with the world, we need to stop creating in an angry mind space.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? And when we stop creating with an angry mind space and with a joyful mind space, it translates in the music. And if there's one thing that can bring the world together, it's music. You know, we've seen it happen tons and tons of times. Bob Marley, you know, like, bro, you just name it. The music really can make people come together, you know. So I think we should really, you know, pray, hunker down, get it in tune with yourself, with your God. You know what I'm saying? And live that life, that principle of just being less angry in this goddamn music, bro.
I love that.
Bring the world together. Bring the world together.
Bring the world together. Ladies and gentlemen, Music Business Unlocked, Playback Studios.
Shout
we here
out
with
Music
Bezi.
Business Unlocked. Come on, man. Yo, thank you for having me. Thank you, Music Business Unlocked. Thank you, Playback. All love, man. Come on.
Appreciate you,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
Great convo, bro. For real.
Yeah.
That was good shit. Yes, sir. Don't leave me hanging. We on camera.